The rain hammered down like it was trying to drown the whole damn world, turning the football field into a mud-slicked battlefield where every step felt like betrayal. Coach Harlan's voice cut through the storm, sharp as a whistle. "Riley, stay back. We need to talk." My heart slammed against my ribs harder than any tackle ever had, because in that moment, with the team vanishing into the locker room, I knew this wasn't about plays or penalties. It was about the secret I'd buried deeper than the end zone. I stood there, soaked to the bone, my cleats sinking into the turf as lightning cracked overhead like the universe itself was fracturing. He'd caught me staring too long during drills again, those blue eyes of his locking onto mine with an intensity that made my stomach twist. "What the hell is going on with you out there?" he growled, stepping closer, close enough that I could smell the rain on his skin mixed with that faint pine scent from his aftershave. And then, before I could spit out some lame excuse about focus or fatigue, he grabbed my shoulder, not hard, but firm, and pulled me into the shadow of the bleachers, where the downpour couldn't touch us, and whispered words that shattered everything. "I see you, kid. I see how you look at me. And God help me, I look back." That was the night it all ignited, 2 years ago, in the sticky heat of a Texas summer that clung to your skin like regret. I was 18, fresh out of high school, chasing dreams on a community college scholarship that felt more like a lifeline than a launch pad. Our town, Willow Creek, was the kind of place where Friday nights meant bonfires and beer under the stars. But secrets like mine festered in the dark corners of double-wide trailers and dusty pickup trucks. Football was king here, salvation for boys like me with dads who worked oil rigs and moms who prayed for normalcy. I was the golden boy, 6'2", broad-shouldered, with a spiral that could thread a needle from 50 yards. But inside, I was a storm waiting to break, every glance at Coach Harlan a spark against dry tinder. He was 35, built like the oak trees lining the creek. Solid, unyielding, with salt and pepper hair cropped military short and a jaw that could cut glass. Widower, they said, after his wife lost her battle with cancer 5 years back. No kids, just a beat-up Ford F-150 and a whistle that commanded respect from grown men. He wasn't from here originally. Somewhere up north, Chicago maybe, but he'd washed up in Willow Creek like driftwood, taking the head coaching gig at the college and turning our ragtag team into state contenders. Folks loved him for it, called him a miracle worker. I called him something else in the quiet hours, when I'd lie awake in my cramped apartment, replaying the way his hand lingered on my pads during huddles. That rainy practice wasn't the first time our worlds brushed too close. It started small. A pat on the back that lasted a beat too long, eyes meeting across the field during water breaks. I'd tell myself it was nothing, that he was just tough love mentoring, pushing me to be better because I had potential. But potential for what? The pros? Nah, I wasn't that good. No, it was the other potential, the one that scared me shitless. I'd known I was gay since I was 14, fumbling through crushes on teammates in the showers, hearts pounding harder than the drums at pep rallies. But coming out in Willow Creek, that was a one-way ticket to exile. Whispers turning to shouts, dreams evaporating like morning dew. Under those bleachers, with thunder rumbling like an accusation, Coach Ethan, he'd said, his first name slipping out like a confession, didn't let go. "You're holding back out there, Riley, and it's not your arm. It's this." His thumb brushed my collarbone, right where my jersey clung wet and transparent. I froze, breath catching, the world narrowing to the heat of his palm against my chill. "I know what it's like to hide," he murmured, voice rough as gravel. "To want something you can't have. But you gotta face it, or it'll eat you alive." I jerked away, not because I wanted to, but because survival kicked in. "What the fuck, coach? You think I'm?" Words died in my throat. Deny it? Lie to the one man who'd seen through every facade? Rain sheeted off the metal roof above us, a curtain sealing us in. He stepped closer, not crowding, but close enough that I could see the flecks of gold in his eyes, the faint scar above his lip from some old fight. "I'm not blind, Riley, and neither are you. Last week's scrimmage? You sacked me on purpose, just to get your hands on me." Heat flooded my face, shame and thrill twisting like vines. He'd noticed. God, he'd noticed. I didn't. But I had. Every brutal hit, every accidental brush. It was all a desperate Morse code, spelling out what words never could. Ethan reached out again, slower this time, cupping my jaw with a gentleness that belied his size. "It's okay," he said, thumb tracing my cheekbone. "You're not alone in this." Our lips met then, tentative as a first down sneak, tasting of rain and salt and years of unspoken hunger. It wasn't fireworks or violins, just two lost souls colliding in the storm, hands fisting jerseys, breaths mingling in gasps. When we broke apart, gasping, the field stretched empty before us, a green promise under roiling skies. "This can't happen," I whispered, even as my body screamed the opposite. "Not here. Not us." He nodded, eyes shadowed. "I know, but it already has." And just like that, we stepped back into the world, me to my truck, him to his office, carrying the weight of what we'd started, fragile as a playbook in the wind. The weeks that followed were a fever dream, stolen moments stitched into the fabric of practice and plays. We'd meet in the equipment shed after dark, the air thick with the scent of leather and liniment, whispering futures we both knew were illusions. Ethan talked about leaving Willow Creek, coaching at a bigger school up north where no one batted an eye at two guys holding hands. I'd laugh, bitter, because my roots ran deep here. Mom's nursing shifts, Dad's ghost in the garage tools he left behind after the rig accident. "You're my escape," I'd say, tracing the veins on his forearms like maps to freedom. He'd pull me close, murmuring against my hair, "Then let's run, Riley, together." But reality was a tackler you never saw coming. The team started noticing, whispers in the locker room about how Coach rode me harder, how I lit up under his praise. My best friend, Jax, cornered me one night over cheap beers at the creek. "Dude, what's with you and Harlan? You two got some brome and shit going?" I played it off, punched his arm, but his eyes lingered, suspicious. Jax was straight as an arrow, married to his high school sweetheart, but loyal to a fault. If he knew, Christ, if anyone knew. Then came the betrayal, sharp as a blindside hit. It was mid-season, playoffs looming, when I overheard it in the stands during a home game. Ethan's truck was parked crooked in the lot, and there she was, Lila, the history teacher from the high school, all curves and crimson lipstick, leaning into him like she owned the space between. They kissed, deep and unhurried, her hands in his hair. My world tilted, while rising as I ducked behind the bleachers, heart shattering like cheap glass. Who was she? Some rebound? A cover? But the way he held her, tender, familiar, ripped the ground from under me. I confronted him that night in his office, the door slamming like thunder. "Lila? Really? After everything?" He looked up from his desk, papers scattering, face paling. "Riley, it's not." "Don't," I snarled, fists clenched. "Don't feed me some line about it meaning nothing. I saw you, felt it in my gut." He stood, rounding the desk, but I backed away, the air between us crackling with hurt. "She's safe," he admitted finally, voice breaking. "The town expects it. My job, the team, it's all on the line. You think I want this? Hiding us like some dirty secret?" Tears burned my eyes, hot and unbidden. "Then why start it? Why me?" He reached for me, but I flinched. "Because you're real, Riley. The only real thing I've had since Sarah died. But this place, it chews up dreams and spits out bones." We argued until dawn crept in, voices raw, accusations flying like errant passes. In the end, he begged me to stay, to fight for us. But doubt had rooted deep, a weed choking the bloom. The fracture widened with every practice, every forced smile across the field. I'd throw spirals that sailed true, but inside, I was unraveling, threads of trust fraying under the strain. Ethan tried, God, he tried. Slipping notes into my locker, quotes from Whitman about the body electric, or just "miss your fire" scrawled in his blocky script. I'd crumple them, then smooth them out later, reading by flashlight in my bed, aching for the man who held me like I was the only touchdown that mattered. Jax noticed the change, of course. He was my shadow, the wide receiver who ran routes like poetry, all gangly limbs and easy grins. We'd grown up together, trading comic books and dreams of escaping this Dust Bowl town. "You're off, man," he said one afternoon, tossing a football lazy arcs in the empty lot behind the diner. Like, "Ghost off. Spill it." I wanted to, Christ. The words clawed at my throat, but fear glued them down. "Just pressure," I lied, catching the ball and firing it back hard enough to sting his palms. "Playoffs, you know?" He nodded, but his eyes narrowed. "It's Harlan, isn't it? The way he looks at you. It's weird, like he's coaching more than football." My stomach dropped, the ball fumbling from my grip. "What the hell does that mean?" Jax shrugged, uncomfortable. "Dunno. Just watch your back. Town's got eyes everywhere." He clapped my shoulder, oblivious to the bomb he'd dropped, and jogged off to his truck, leaving me knee-deep in paranoia. That paranoia bloomed into isolation. I skipped team barbecues, dodged the bonfires where beer flowed and girls flirted shameless. Instead, I drive the back roads, windows down, radio blasting Springsteen anthems about highways and heartaches. Ethan and I met in secret still, stolen hours in his cabin on the outskirts, a ramshackle place with creaky floors and a fireplace that smoked more than it warmed. There, we'd shed the world. Me in his lap on the worn couch, his fingers carding through my hair, stories spilling like confessions. He'd talk about Chicago, the anonymity of crowds where love wasn't a scandal. I'd share fragments of my fears, Dad's old homophobic rants echoing in my ears, Mom's quiet hope for grandkids I'd never give. One night, tangled in sheets that smelled of him, I traced the tattoo on his chest. A compass rose, inked after Sarah's funeral. "Points north," he said softly, covering my hand with his. "Reminds me to keep moving." I pressed my lips there, feeling his heartbeat steady under my touch. "Take me with you?" It was half joke, half prayer. He tilted my chin up, eyes fierce. "That's the plan, kid. Soon as the season ends, we go. No looking back." But plans are paper-thin in Willow Creek. The betrayal deepened 2 weeks later, at the regional championship. We were up by 3, clock ticking down, when disaster struck. I dropped a snap, clean handoff turning fumble, ball squirting into enemy hands like it had a mind of its own. They ran it back for 6, crowd erupting in boos that drowned my pulse. On the sideline, Ethan's face was thunder, but when he yanked me close for the chew out, his grip lingered, a whisper escaping, "Shake it off. For us." I nodded, numb, and we clawed back a field goal to force overtime. But in the chaos, as I scanned for Jax on a slant, I saw it. Lila in the stands, her hand on his arm during a timeout huddle break. She was beaming, proud girlfriend style, and he didn't pull away. Rage blurred my vision. The pass sailed wide, incomplete. We lost by a hair, the final whistle a dirge that echoed my breaking heart. Locker room aftermath was hell. Shouts, slammed doors, tears masked as sweat. I showered last, scalding water doing nothing for the chill inside. Ethan found me there, steam cloaking us like fog on the field. "Riley, wait." His voice was wrecked, echoing off tiles. I spun, towel slipping, fury boiling over. "Wait for what? Your next date? Or just until the rumors start?" He winced, stepping under the spray, clothes and all. "It's a front, damn it. For the boosters, the town. Lila knows. It's platonic, a shield." "Lies," I hissed, shoving his chest. Water cascaded between us, a veil of recriminations. "I saw how you kissed her. That's not acting." His hands caught my wrists, holding firm. "It's survival. You think I like it? Pretending when all I want is this. You, us." Pain cracked his voice, and for a moment, I saw the man beneath the coach. Vulnerable, scarred by loss. But trust was a bruised rib, tender to the touch. "Survival for you," I spat. "What about mine? I'm the one who'd get tarred and feathered here." He released me, deflating like a punctured ball. "You're right. I dragged you into this mess." Silence stretched, heavy as the humidity. Then softer. "I love you, Riley. That's the unexpected part. the one I never saw coming. The words hung, a Hail Mary pass I wasn't ready to catch. I dressed in silence, leaving him under the water, a drowned king in his castle of regrets. The fallout poisoned everything. Practices turned mechanical, my throws erratic, Ethan's corrections clipped and cold. Jax pulled me aside after one brutal session, face grave. I gotta tell you something. Heard from Tommy's cousin, some bullshit about you and Coach. Like, unnatural shit. My blood iced. Who said? He shrugged. Uneasy. Doesn't matter. Just deny it, man, or we're done. Loyalty from my oldest friend. Now a blade at my throat. I nodded, throat tight, but inside, the walls closed in. That night, I drove to the field alone, moon high and merciless. The goalposts loomed like gallows, turf still scarred from the loss. I sat on the 50-yard line, football in lap, tears finally spilling. Why did love have to hurt like this? A truck rumbled up. Ethan's, headlights cutting the dark. He killed the engine, silhouette emerging, thermos in hand. Hot chocolate, he said, sitting beside me, close but not touching. Sarah's recipe fixes everything. We passed it back and forth, steam curling like ghosts. I'm sorry, he started, but I cut him off. Don't, just tell me why her. Why not fight? He sighed, staring at the stars. Fear, Riley. Same as you. After Sarah, I swore off risks. Then you, stubborn, talented, with eyes that see right through me. You make me want to be brave. His hand found mine tentative. I let it, the warmth seeping in. But Lila ends tonight, he vowed. I'll tell her. The town be damned. We kissed there, under the vast Texas sky, slow and searching, like mapping a new route home. Hope flickered, fragile but fierce. But Willow Creek had other plans, brewing storms we couldn't outrun. Fall turned to winter, the fields frosting over like forgotten promises. Ethan made good on his word. Lila faded from view, a polite wave at games her only trace. Whispers circled, but he stonewalled them, focusing on redemption. Extra drills, film sessions till midnight. The team rallied, me at the helm, channeling heartbreak into horsepower. Scouts started calling, whispers of Division I offers that tasted like vindication. But every victory was bittersweet. Ethan's proud grin a reminder of the razor wire we walked. Jax thawed, sort of. We'd grab tacos after practice, him ribbing me about mooning over Coach's playbook. I laughed it off, but his side eyes lingered, a crack in our foundation. You'd tell me if something was up, right? He'd press, guacamole halfway to his mouth. Course, I'd lie, hating the distance growing between us. Friendship, once effortless as a screen pass, now required faking it. Our secret deepened in the cold months. Ethan's cabin became sanctuary. Roaring fires, shared quilts, stories unfolding like slow-burn offenses. He'd cook, chili thick with secrets, cornbread crumbling under forks, while I teased his bear's loyalty, Chicago tales clashing with my cowboy's creed. You're corrupting me, he'd grumble, pulling me onto the rug, bodies aligning like perfect coverage. We'd talk dreams, him coaching college ball in a progressive pocket like Austin, me as his shadow, maybe studying kinesiology, building a life unapologetic. But doubt nagged, a defensive back on my heels. What if we got caught? The town had history. Old Mr. Hargrove run out in the 80s for that lifestyle. His farm foreclosed amid slurs. Ethan's job, my scholarship, poof, gone. Yet in those arms, fears quieted, replaced by a love fierce as a goal line stand. We're end zone bound. He'd murmur against my temple, and I'd believe it, if only for the night. Spring training brought the storm. Regional scouts swarmed, clipboards like shields, eyeing me like livestock. Ethan prepped me relentless. Weight room grinds, route trees till my legs screamed. One evening, post-session, he cornered me in the trainer's room, door locked, ice packs forgotten. You're ready, he said, pride swelling his chest. Our kiss was celebratory, hungry, hands roaming with the thrill of almost freedom. After the draft combine, we tell the world. I pulled back, searching his face. You sure? He nodded, steel in his gaze. For you? Hell yes. But betrayal's echo lingered. Lila reappeared, not as lover, but informant. She cornered me at the spring fair, cotton candy in hand, smile sharp as barbed wire. He's using you, Riley. Thinks you're his ticket out. Scouts love a redemption story. Her words slithered, poison ivy. What? I choked, funnel cake turning to ash. Ethan's been talking, says once you're pro-bound, he rides your coattails to a better gig. Willow Creek's too small for his ambitions. Lies? Truth? Her eyes held no mercy. Ask him, or don't. But don't say I didn't warn you. I fled the fair, stomach churning, driving blind to the creek where Jax and I used to skip stones. The water rushed, indifferent, as I hurled rocks till my arm ached. Was it possible? Ethan, scheming behind my back? No, our nights were too raw, too real. But seeds of suspicion took root, twisting trust. Confrontation came at the combine preview scrimmage, sun blazing like judgment. I played lights out, lasers threading defenders, scrambles evading sacks. Crowd buzzed, scouts nodding. Post-game, in the emptying stadium, I found Ethan in his office, tie loosened, reviewing tape. Lila paid a visit, I said, door clicking shut. His head snapped up, confusion creasing his brow. What did she say? I paced, anger uncoiling. That you're pimping me out. My shine for your spotlight. He surged to his feet, chair scraping. Jesus, Riley, that woman's bitter as hell. I ended it clean. Now she's lashing. Evidence spilled. Texts on his phone, her threats veiled as concern. See? She's twisting knives. Relief washed me, but residue stuck. Why's she hate us so much? He deflated, rubbing his neck. Guilt, maybe. Knew from the start it was you I wanted. We embraced then. Apologies murmured into shoulders, but the scar tissue pulled tight. Jax's ultimatum hit next. A week later over coffee at the all-night joint. I can't do this anymore. The team's fracturing, guys think you're getting special treatment. And the rumors. He trailed off, eyes pleading. What rumors? I pressed, though I knew. You and him. It's everywhere now. Tommy saw you leaving his place late. Panic clawed my throat. It's bullshit. He leaned in, voice low. Then prove it. Distance yourself. Or I'm out. For your sake. Betrayal from Jax cut deepest. A knife from the brother I'd chosen. I agreed, numb, watching him leave with a pat on the back that felt like goodbye. That night, alone on the field, I screamed into the void, football sailing into the dark. Ethan found me at dawn, dew-soaked and shattered. Jax knows? He guessed, sitting close. I nodded, sobs breaking free. Everything's crumbling. He held me as the sun rose, pink and forgiving. Then we rebuild, stronger. But strength was illusion. The climax brewed in the state qualifiers, heat wave turning the air to soup. We were undefeated, pressure mounting like thunderheads. I was the engine, Ethan the spark. Game day dawned brutal. Stadium packed with locals hungry for glory. Kickoff blurred into frenzy. Tackles crunching, cheers deafening. Halftime tie, sweat stinging eyes. In the locker, Ethan's pep talk ignited us. This is our house. Fight like hell. His gaze on me a private flame. Second half exploded. I orchestrated drives like symphonies. Jax hauling in my throws despite the chill between us. With 2 minutes left, down by 4, we marched, screen to the 10, draw to the 5. Fourth down, my call, a bootleg fade to Jax in the corner. Time slowed. Snap, roll, pump fake. The ball arced perfect, but Jax stuttered. Hesitation? Mistrust? And it tipped incomplete. Turnover. Their kicker sealed it as time expired. 27-24 loss gutting us. Chaos erupted. Fans storming, blame flying. In the melee, Jax shoved me, face twisted. You choked, man. Too busy sucking up to coach. The words boomed, overheard by boosters, scouts, everyone. Fists clenched, I shoved back. Fuck you, Jax. You hesitated. He sneered, ugly. Because I know your secret. Both of you. Fags ruining the team. The slur landed like a cheap shot, world tilting. Ethan burst through, hauling us apart, but damage was done. Whispers turned roars. Phones out, videos rolling. He marched me to his truck, peeling out as sirens wailed distant. Cops for the riot? Or us? It's out. I whispered, shell-shocked. He gripped the wheel white-knuckled. Then we face it. Together. The scandal hit like a hurricane, Willow Creek's winds howling judgment. By morning, social media blazed. Grainy clips of the shove, Jax's slur looping viral. Local news pounced. Team implodes. Personal drama sink season? Speculation veering close to truth. Ethan's phone rang nonstop. Boosters demanding explanations. Athletic director summoning him to discuss optics. I holed up in my apartment, blinds drawn, scrolling horror. Comments like venom. Disgusting. Fire them both. Mom called, voice quavering. Riley? What's this about you and the coach? Lies tumbled out. Misunderstanding, Ma. But her silence screamed disappointment. Ethan showed at noon, face haggard, takeout bags swinging. Eviction notice, he said flatly, dumping burgers on the table. Boosters pulled strings. Claim moral clause violation. My fork clattered. You're fired. He nodded, jaw tight. Suspended pending investigation. But Jax, he confessed to the AD. Said he overheard things. Spun it like I recruited you for favors. Rage boiled, hot and helpless. That son of a bitch. After everything. We ate in silence. Grease congealing like our plans. Scouts? I ventured. He shrugged. Whispers of rescinds. No one wants baggage. The room spun, dreams evaporating. But beneath panic, resolve stirred. Then we leave, I said firm. Now, pack the truck. His eyes met mine, surprise softening to steel. You'd do that? For me. I cupped his face, thumbs brushing stubble. For us, Willow Creek's poison. Flight was frantic. Duffel stuffed, his compass tattoo my North Star. We hit the road at dusk. I-35 northbound. Radio low with Cash crooning about walking the line. Texas blurred to Oklahoma plains. Tension easing with Miles. Where to? He asked, hand on my thigh. Chicago, I decided. Your city. Fresh start. He smiled. First real one in days, squeezing. Our city. But betrayal's shadow trailed. Jax texted at a gas station stop. Sorry, man. Dad made me. Said it'd ruin us all if it got out. Then a link, photos timestamped. Me leaving Ethan's cabin. Blurry but damning. Leaked by him. His old man, the sheriff? Paranoia spiked. I deleted. Blocked. But the poison spread. News alerts pinged. Coach Harlan outed in scandal? Local hero or heartbreaker? We pushed through nights in Fleabag motels. Bodies seeking solace in dim light. Mornings brought strategy. Ethan applying to assistant gigs in liberal enclaves. Me emailing coaches for walk-ons. Hope flickered, but exhaustion gnawed. In a Nebraska diner over pie and coffee he broke. What if it's not enough? What if I'm the curse? Sarah, now you. Tears welled, uncoach-like. I slid beside him in the booth, arm around shoulders. You're my miracle. We fight the blitz together. Iowa welcomed us wary. A cheap rental in Des Moines. Ethan subbing at a high school. Me trying out for the local JUCO squad. Days blurred, drills at dawn, job hunts till dark. Nights were ours. Cooking spaghetti in a kitchen too small. Laughing over burnt garlic bread. Making love slow and sacred. Reaffirming what words couldn't. I love you. I'd whisper into his neck. Feeling his hum vibrate through me. Always the quarterback. He'd tease, but his eyes shone earnest. Yet conflict simmered. Whispers followed. A parent complaint at Ethan's school. That guy's got a past. My tryout coach eyed me sidelong. Heard about Texas. Keep your head down. Isolation crept, new town old scars. Jax called once. Voice wrecked. They're coming for you. Dad's got statements. Says Ethan groomed you. I hung up, fury trembling fingers. Betrayal complete. My friend. Selling us out for family honor. Climax crashed in summer swelter. A callback to Willow Creek. Reporters sniffed our trail. Doorstep ambush at the rental. Mike's thrust. Questions barbed. Coach? Comment on the allegations? Ethan shielded me, door slamming, but damage viral anew. That night, panic peaked. His job threatened. My spot revoked. We argued in the living room, voices rising like a fourth-quarter comeback. You're dragging me down, I yelled, pacing. This ghost of Texas. It's killing us. He recoiled, hurt flashing. Me? You're the one clinging to football dreams that tie us here. Run away again. Truth stung. Resentment I'd buried surfaced. I gave up everything for you, and it's still not enough. He advanced, faces inches. It's never enough when fear wins. You think I don't see you flinch at double takes? We're cowards together. The slap of words echoed, silence deafening. I stormed out, driving aimless into cornfields, radio silent. Hours later, at a overlook, stars blanketing the hurt, clarity hit. Love wasn't perfection, it was choosing the mess, every down. I returned at dawn, finding him on the porch, head in hands. I'm sorry, we said simultaneous, colliding in hugs fierce as survival. We tell our story, I proposed, pulling back. On our terms. He nodded, resolve reigniting. Podcast? Blog? Something human. Laughter bubbled, absurd and freeing. From ashes? Phoenix. Ethan's voice memos, my writings, weaving pain into power. Invites trickled, LGBTQ youth groups, sports equality panels. Willow Creek faded, a bad snap in the rearview. Autumn leaves turned Des Moines gold, mirroring the thaw in our souls. Ethan's sub-gig stabilized, kids warming to his fire despite murmurs. My walk-on landed at a small D3 school, spirals finding receivers under Friday lights once more. Life-stitched normalcy. Grocery runs debating cereal brands. Weekend hikes where hands laced unashamed. Love deepened. Roots tentative but true, watered by honesty. Jax's final betrayal came via letter, postmarked Willow Creek, arriving like a ghost. I was wrong. Dad pushed, but I let him. Lost my marriage over the lies. Wife left, called me spineless. Wish I had your guts. Enclosed, a check for your start, and a plea for forgiveness. I burned it in the sink, ashes swirling down the drain. No absolution, I told Ethan, who nodded, pulling me close. You deserve peace, not his chains. Our story spread, ripples turning waves. A local NPR station picked up Ethan's audio clips, raw tales of hidden hearts on the gridiron, titled End Zone Confessions. Listeners flooded in, emails from closeted athletes, parents seeking bridges. We guessed it on panels, voices steady, Ethan's hand under the table my anchor. It's not just our win, he'd say to crowds. It's every kid who'll run free now. Climax resolved not in glory, but grace. Willow Creek called, an olive branch from the new AD, post-scandal purge. Come back, speak at assembly. Heal the divide. Temptation tugged. Vindication. Mom's hopeful calls. But Ethan demurred. We're not theirs to redeem. Instead, we hosted a clinic there, neutral ground in Kansas, drawing teams from across the plains. Jax showed, hollow-eyed, apology in his stance. No hugs, but a nod enough for now. Winter brought quiet joys. Our first holiday as us. Trees strung with lights and ornaments from thrift dives. Mom visited, tentative at first, then tearful hugs after Ethan's charm offensive. Chopping wood, her favorite pie. He's a keeper, she whispered, squeezing my hand. Dad's absence ached less. His tools donated to the local shop class. Legacy repurposed. Spring bloomed promise. Ethan's offer from a Chicago suburb high school. Progressive district with pride flags fluttering. Head coach, I hooped, spinning him in the kitchen. And you? Transfer viable? Scouts had circled anew, baggage reframed as bravery. We packed lighter this time, truck loaded with futures. The unexpected, not the field that night, but every dawn after. Waking to his breath on my neck, coffee brewing, plans unfolding. Love, dramatic as a Hail Mary, wasn't the hook. It was the steady march, yard by yard. Betrayals scarred. Conflicts forged us stronger. Emotions the fuel for romance's long haul. On move day, last box sealed, we paused at the door. Regrets? Ethan asked, key and lock. I grinned, pulling him in for a kiss. Deep, unhurried, tasting of home. None. You're my MVP. He laughed, that rumble I lived for. And you're my forever play. Chicago awaited, skyline sharp against lake blues, anonymity's embrace. But we'd carry Willow Creek's lessons. Vulnerability as victory, love as the ultimate score. In the end, the field wasn't where it happened. It was everywhere, every heartbeat, a game we won together. Humanistic close. We didn't conquer the world, but we claimed ours. Flawed, fierce, profoundly ours. And in the quiet touchdowns of ordinary days, that's triumph enough.